Hi guys, and welcome to this GuitarDomination.net video. This is an extract from the fingerpicking book, Fingerstyle 101. If you haven't downloaded it yet, head to GuitarDomination.net and grab your free copy. Right, this is the Ballad pattern. First of all, before I show you that play along example, I'm going to start you off and show you how to play on a C, G and D chord. We start with a C chord. What we do, we start with a pinch. Now we play the pinch here with the thumb on the root note, which is the A string for the C chord, and then with the ring finger we play the high E string, and that's all a pinch is, two strings played at once. Just kind of pinching the strings together. So we play the A and the high E. Okay, then we pluck the G string with the index finger, the B string with the middle finger. That's how you play on a C chord. So one bar looks like this. Now we're going to try it on a G chord. The root note now changes from the A string to the low E string. Everything else is exactly the same. Okay, so we've got, so you pinch the low E and the high E together, then you pick G, then B. Okay, so that's the G chord done. Now the D chord, root note is now the D string. Everything else is exactly the same. So D and the high E together, then the G, B. So one bar of the D looks like this. Right, so now we've looked at the basic chords. So if you ever play that pattern on any other chord, just ask yourself how many strings is it. So if you want to know what you've got to do for the E minor chord, it's a 6-string chord. Your root note's on the 6th string, so you just play exactly the same pattern as you would for a G. For an A minor, you do exactly the same as a C, because that's a 5-string chord. And for the C, okay, does that all make sense? If not, you want to get really comfortable with your root notes for all of these patterns. Okay, learn them inside out, and it will come instinctively and naturally. Okay, now let's learn the real world play along example. This is a little piece I came up with a while back. Sounds quite cool. It's got a medieval type quality to it. To play it, we're going to put our ring finger on the 9th fret of the G string and our pinky finger on the 9th fret of the B string. These two fingers stay there pretty much all throughout. All your other fingers do the work for this one. Okay, we're going to treat it like it's a 6-string chord. So our root note is on the low E string. Start off with the pinch, pluck the G, then the B. Okay, and then we're going to add a bass note with our index finger on the 7th fret of the low E, and the same picking pattern again. So it's low E, high E together pinched, then G, then B. So the first bar looks like this. Okay, then the second bar is exactly the same, we just change our bass notes. So this time we use our middle finger to come across to the 9th fret on the low E. Okay, and then slide it across one more fret to the 8th on the low E and pluck the same again. You can use your index finger for that bit, use whatever's comfortable, just make sure the ring and the pinky stay on that 9th fret on the G and B strings throughout. Okay, so the first two bars all together. Okay, you repeat that, so let's play that one more time. Okay, then it changes a little bit, we start working on the high E string a little bit more for the next two bars. So this time, what we do, we take our index finger, middle finger off, so it's just purely pinky and ring fingers on. Pluck the low E and the high E, the G, then the B. So that's. Then we add our index finger on the high E at the 7th fret. Added a bit of a melody note there, sounds quite cool. Okay, then we've got the tricky part in the next bar, where we've got the 9th fret on the high E. But now, how are we going to do that? Because we've got pinky and our ring on the 9th fret, so we struggle to add an extra finger on that 9th fret on the high E. If you can do it, you can sneak your second finger behind and add it there. I actually prefer just to bar all three, the 9th fret on the G, B and high E strings with my ring finger. Okay, and then once we've done that, the melody note now changes back from the 9 to the 7. We've got to get our fingers back quickly into the anchored position we had before. Okay, so I'll take you through that last 2 bars there. So open IE, 7th fret IE, 9th fret IE, 7th fret IE. So on its own, the little melody there would be. Sounds a bit pants on its own, but that's the melody notes. Okay, use whichever way is comfortable, but get that ring finger and that pinky playing those 2 same notes throughout. That's quite important. If you really struggle with getting that high note there on the 9th, you can just play it back as an open. So an easier version of that section would be. So it would be open on the E, 7th fret, open, 7th fret. And you know, you can do what you want. This is just a piece that I created. You can adapt it, make it what you want. You can even go higher up with the melody notes. Change your anchored fingers from your ring and pinky on the 9th fret. You could switch them to your index and middle, which would allow you to get a higher note. You know, you can go crazy. But you want to keep it fairly simple. This is just a nice, simple play along. It's a simple picking pattern, the ballad pattern. By all means, you don't have to play it with these unusual chord anchors. I wanted to show you that example, just to get you thinking outside the box with your chords and your pieces that you create. And not have to worry about too many chord changes with that picking pattern. When you've got lots of chord changes with fretting hand, and you're doing something new with the picking hand, it can be all sorts of crazy. So if you want to play that pattern, from standard chords, and go for it. You know, just have a little bit of fun. You know, you can create a little piece, something along the lines of. You know, something nice and simple, sounds quite cute, and it'll work with any chords. Just make sure you're comfortable with your root notes. Right, that's the ballad pattern. Hope you enjoyed that video. Hope you're enjoying the book, and stay tuned. We're going to learn, once you've mastered this one, the 3rd example. Right, have fun. See you again soon. Bye bye.